Okay. All right. Hello. Hello, my Californian family. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
We're all right. We're not dealing with a fire.
Very your iPad good? Is your iPad on your lap? Is that what's going on?
I'm holding it.
I was holding it, and then she decided I wasn't doing a good enough
All right.
job.
Well, you are in California, and it does look like an earthquake, so it reminds me of home. And before we get to movie stuff, how's the dog? How are the dogs?
They're doing good. There's Hawkeye, come here. No, don't let leave.
Oh, don't pay attention to them. The other dogs are out.
They're good.
Good. Oh, Hawkeye. Oh, the fan favorite. And have you seen any of my wacky animations on TikTok?
Yeah, I did see those animations. Those are pretty cool.
It's a fun waste of time. I like using the animation program. All right. So, we've got one person here on Facebook. Hello and welcome. So today, our theme, let's see. We should roll our credits. So it's Thursday movie question night. So welcome everybody. I'm excited for this just because I'm at my in-laws and they like watching the news. And so that gets very depressing for me. So I'm very happy to go into the land of movie discussion. So I'm your host, Wade Bradford, and we've got Mackenzie Bradford. And I was going to almost say Jeremiah Bradford. No pressure, Jeremiah. Jeremiah True. We are here. And here's our theme today. Non-Star Wars movies with the word star in the title.
There you go.
Non-Star Wars movie with the word star in the title. And that prompt because when I was texting back and forth with Mackenzie, she explained to me that they've been watching Star Trek Next Generation, which I highly approve of. What a wonderful thing to binge watch. And so I thought, we'll talk about Star Trek. I got some Star Trek questions for us. But before we get to the Star Trek questions, here's a little game we're going to play. I'm going to task you, and hopefully if we can read some of the comments, they can chime in as well. Can you guys read the comments, Mackenzie?
I don't think so.
You have to go back and forth. I might need to go back and forth between mine. Let me just see what I got. If I don't want it to go nuts. Okay, I might be able to read the comments if I go back and forth a little bit. All right, so here's the game we're going to play. If I can find where I put it. Not prepared. Da, da, da. All right. Okay. The game we're going to play is how many. I want to find out how many movies with the word star in the title, but not Star Trek movies and not Star Wars movies. How many movies with star in the title can you blurry earthquake folks name? So I'll start with we'll start with Mackenzie. We'll get to name the first title, and then assuming you could come up with one, and then it'll be like spelling bee style when it gets down to the last two people. So we'll bounce from Mackenzie to Jeremiah and back to you, Mackenzie, and we'll see how long you guys can go naming movies that have star in the title. And I will even accept if we want to get sort of loose, if it has STAR altogether, but maybe it turns into another word, that I would accept that as well. But mostly you want to be going with the word star that's in the title. All right. So Mackenzie, you go first.
A Star is Born.
A Star is Born. All right. Over to you, Jeremiah.
A Fault in Our Stars.
A Fault in Our Stars. Okay, Mackenzie.
I didn't think I'd make it this far.
Studio audience, if you can come up with movie titles with the word star in them.
Gone. Do you have one?
I was going to cheat and say Ad Astra, which is Latin for star.
Well, you don't have to worry. It looks like you won because Mackenzie did not.
Nothing.
Let's check the comments and see if anybody has come up. Let's see. Carol's asking if she can play. Of course you can, Carol. And if anybody can leave a comment letting us know what is a movie that has star in the title. I will play along since I came up with it. there's the movie. There's a movie. Actually, I don't want to play along because I have some trivia questions for you, but that are related to movie. I made a couple trivia questions that have the word star in the title. So maybe we'll just go to those trivia questions. What do we say? What do I got? All right. So Mackenzie mentioned A Star Is Born. So today's we got a few trivia questions. These are ones. Some of these I knew, and some of them I just double checked. But I actually knew this one. How many theatrical versions of A Star Is Born are there?
3.
I was also going to say 3.
You're going to say 3. That's a pretty good guess because there's the early one with Judy Garland, and then there's one with Barbara Streisand, and then there's the Lady Gaga one. But before the Judy Garland version, there was another one. So there's actually been 4 theatrical versions of A Star Is Born.
Cool.
That's too many versions, by the way. We just one is all we needed. So since you guys lost that one, you now have to sing the Shallow song. Take it away.
Tell me something, girl. That one?
Okay, that's all you need. All right. Jeff Bridges received an Oscar nomination for playing an alien in this movie. And this, because of the theme, this is a non-Star Wars, non-Star Trek movie that has the word star in the title. And I'll give you a hint. It's from the 80s. Let's see if anybody else can guess.
The Man Who Came from the Stars?
It is not The Man Who Came from the Stars. Is there a movie called The Man Who Came from the Stars?
Are you thinking of the David Bowie film?
Oh, is that Stranger in a Strange Land?
Maybe I'm just insane.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
I don't know.
This, I think it came out very closely. It was like a little bit after E.T., so people thought it's like, well, it's just like E.T., except it's Jeff Bridges instead of E.T. Because I think he had special powers. He could heal people and things like that, too. It's called Starman.
Starman.
Oh.
Starman.
Which is weird, because maybe I was thinking of David Bowie because of Starman. I don't know.
Oh, maybe Ziggy Stardust?
That might be it.
That might be it. All right. Well, then, if you didn't get that one, you're not going to get this. Is another 80s lore question. If you're just joining us, we've got some non-Star Wars, non-Star Trek movie trivia. So Robert Preston. Now, do you guys know who's Robert Preston? Do you guys know who Robert Preston is?
I don't know who that is. Come on, Max.
I also
Chase, Lizzie.
we're taking Chase and Lizzie outside because they just started growling at one another. But
It seemed. I think when they hear my voice, they start getting agitated.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But no, neither of us know who Robert Preston is. I do remember hearing the name many times before, though.
Robert Preston is most famous from The Music Man.
Haven't seen The Music Man.
Oh, no. That's a good one. Okay, well, now I know what I'm going to force you to watch when I come back down there.
Yay!
So I don't know if you've seen this, Mackenzie. So Robert Preston plays the Music Man.
Okay.
And he was in, before he passed away, he actually his career revived, and he was in a couple of popular 80s movies. He was in Victor Victoria with Julie Andrews. But he was also in this movie. So Robert Preston appeared as an alien who recruits a talented video game player.
In the 80s?
Tron.
In the 80s. Tron is an excellent guess because that is a video game movie, but it is not Tron. Michael T. Smith, by the way, got guest Starman, so good for you. Does anyone know? Anyone out there on Facebook land know? It does have the word star in the title. And it's one of the first video game themed movies, and it's also one of the first movies. Like Tron was one of the first CGI movies, and this was I think a close follow up to Tron. So it was kind of jumping on the early CGI bandwagon. See if anybody know. I'm not seeing anybody guessing. They might be a little bit behind, but I'm going to reveal it anyway. It was The Last Starfighter.
Oh.
Oh.
Interesting.
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It basically he's playing it takes place in the 80s, so he's a teen that's playing video games, and when he gets to the last level, when he beats the last level, that basically sends out a signal so that he's the chosen one. Because like you learned how to play this video game so well, now we're going to put you in the cockpit of a real spaceship, and you're going to go out and blast things. So I don't know which came first, Ender's Game or The Last Starfighter, but it's a little bit of the same kind of thing. All right. Here's our next trivia question. Okay. The actors from Divergent also starred in this cancer drama teen romance. Perhaps everybody's favorite cancer drama teen romance.
Should be the only one.
This movie is literally cancer.
That's so sad.
Fault in Our Stars.
The Fault in Our Stars. That is correct. All right, you didn't need any studio audience help on that one. I'm curious if anybody guessed Last Starfighter. Let's see. Jesse says that you not allowed, Jeremiah. You have to watch Music Man. So now Jesse, our friend on Facebook, has commanded it. So shall it be. All right, here we go. Star Trek. So we're going to talk about Star Trek stuff. These are just opinion-based things. These aren't. We're leaving the trivia stuff. We can go back to trivia later if you want. So which Star Trek character would you least want to fight? So this can be any of the Star Trek worlds, any of the Next Generation old stuff, the newer TV shows, if anybody watches that. Anyone can answer this question on Facebook, by the way. Which Star Trek character would you least want to fight?
Do you have an answer?
I do have an answer. Do you have an answer?
I have two, yeah.
Okay, my answer is Data, because I think he could just destroy me. Like, not even trying, just like, I'd like go to punch him and he'd just like break my hand back.
Yeah.
Like, there's no question of me like outpowering him. I don't think I could outsmart him either. I
was gonna say Worf, but yeah, Data's a way better answer from that same group of people. And I was also thinking of Khan from Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yes.
Because that Benedict Cumberbatch plays a very convincing super soldier.
Yes, and so he has super strength. Now, have you seen The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan?
No, I haven't.
It'd be interesting for you to see if you like which performance, because since you've seen Benedict Khan, because I grew up with Ricardo Montalban as Khan. So it'd be interesting to see, since you grew up watching Benedict Cumberbatch, how would you like the original Khan? I think he's awesome.
Yeah, I'd probably like him more. The boy.
Let's see. All right.
You want
I'm sorry. So which one would I want to fight?
Which one would you not want to fight?
Oh, would I? Yeah, I would go. See, when I was thinking of the question, I was thinking like, well, Data is like the most powerful at least of the good guys, of the crew. But he's so, he's following the Prime Directive, and he wouldn't want to hurt anybody. But then I remembered, it's like every season something goes wrong with his brain, and he tries to kill people. So it's like, yeah. So I wouldn't. If Data went on the fritz, then he would just, he would snap me in two. Now which Star Trek character would you? This isn't on there, but would you most want to fight? Would it be Wesley?
I think it's honestly, I've changed my opinion. It's gonna be Troy.
Deanna Troy.
But the way I'm gonna fight Troy is I'm just gonna send mixed emotions and then hit her.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, I feel sad, I feel happy, I feel mad, and just like put her off balance.
And then she'll be like, All right. Well, which Star Trek character would you kiss?
Ooh, Data. Okay, that was a little too quick. Too quick, but that's it.
Well, he's,
It's got to be Picard. He's just so hot. Seriously,
enough.
Patrick Stewart is.
Well, there's something about his bald head just go. Mwah! I don't know if you guys have seen Star Trek Voyager, but there's something that I like about Seven of Nine. She's like she's like a reformed Borg. Mm-hmm. She's kind of cute. I'm going to move on before Sherry tunes in. And so, which is your favorite Star Trek? Which Star Trek movie is your favorite, and why? And anyone on Facebook, please join in with some of your answers.
I don't remember the name of this Star Trek movie, and I don't want to give spoilers away, but basically Data's cat almost dies.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's like, "Da-da-da," that one. I don't know what that one's called. Oh!
So where is that? That's where Data is crying about his cat.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And I think that's Star Trek Generations, although if there's Star Trek fans that are nerdier than myself, they can chime in and tell us which one had I think it's Star Trek Generations. He has feelings and he's like, "Oh, Spot, you're alive."
Yeah.
I think I like Voyager the best. I love the idea of a satellite gaining sentience and then like becoming a planetoid. It's just like, oh, that's terrifying but cool.
Oh, so the one with V'ger, the Star Trek the Motion Picture?
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one that's a trippy one. Yeah. That one's like there's no other Star Trek movie that's like the Star Trek the Motion Picture. I like I have to go with Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Was emotionally powerful for me as a kid, and I like it. Has all these parallels to Moby Dick that I really like. And what's cool is then in Star Trek Next Generation, in the Borg episode, the Star Trek gosh, what I can't remember I'm gonna lose my nerd card. Star Trek, it's not Insurrection. We watch it. It's the one with the Borg where they're fighting the Borg. And that one there's which one?
First Contact. Yes,
thank you. First Contact. Yeah, so in First Contact they have a lot of Ahab Moby Dick parallels as well. Let's see. What else do we have? All right, are you ready for some Star Trek themed trivia?
Let's
go. I'm about to fail.
Me too.
I'll try to keep it relatively easy. All right. So Jean-Luc Picard. Maybe this one's too easy. But what country is the character Jean-Luc Picard from?
Ding, France.
Okay. Oh, we're dinging in now. Okay.
I don't know.
Where's Ding, France?
Ding, France. It's in Bonk. It's south of Bonk, France. Ding, Bonk. I don't know. It's not good. Killed it.
All right. Question number 2. Physically describe how Riker sits in a chair.
Oh. Like a fool. He's like spreads out the most way possible. Also, I don't know if his back works correctly because he like steps into a chair.
Yeah, so he kind of
spread.
Like he lifts one leg just around the back of the chair and then settles into it. And I think if I remember correctly, it's because he had a back-related injury that made it difficult for him to sit down normally. So he just do this like super alpha, like step over chair, sit down, lean in, just like.
I assume that the Jonathan Frakes the actor had a back problem, or was that the character Riker? Because that's some character work there.
I think they'd be able to fix a herniated disc in Star Trek.
Probably.
Or whatever it was.
Okay, so here's a trivia one for you. William Shatner, who, of course, plays Captain Kirk, the original Captain Kirk, there was one Star Trek movie which he directed. Can you name the Star Trek movie? And we'll see if anybody else... Let's see. Bobby Kinston saying Christopher Plummer is excellent in Part 6, but Spock mind melds with the dolphin in 4. Those are good points. Oh, people have guessed France. I haven't seen people guessed yet. Do you know which...
I think Star Trek, the movie 3.
Star Trek 4?
I'm just giving some generic answer.
Yeah, so Star Trek 3 is The Search for Spock, and that was not directed That was not directed. In fact, I think The Search for Spock was actually directed by Spock, if I remember correctly. I think he directed Star Trek 3. And then Star Trek 4, I know for sure that was definitely directed by Leonard Nimoy.
Okay. Well,
so 3 and 4 were directed by Nimoy, and Star Trek 5, number 5, which most Star Trek people, just most people in general, think that's the worst movie.
Even with the whales, even worse than Star Trek 4, which always gets lambasted for.
Well, people at the time, I don't know what history looks on it now, but at the time, people loved Star Trek 4. I like Star Trek 4, but people loved Star Trek 4 was the most popular of all the original 6 Star Trek movies. It made the most money.
Wow.
And one of the reasons was because they go to present day.
Mm-hmm.
And so it became kind of a comedy in many ways, because you see Kirk's like romancing like an 80s woman, and Chekhov is like arguing with, a police officer trying to find the nuclear vessels, and the police officer is looking at him like he's some kind of Russian spy. So they have a lot of 80s kind of comedy. Because they're now, there's a lot of funny lines in it. They have a cloaking device on the bird of prey that they've stolen from the Klingons, and so they land their invisible plane in a park, and then they say a line like, "Don't forget where we parked." So they have a lot of good cheesiness in it. Let's see what our studio audience says. Michael T. Somebody says they love The Whale, the reboots.
All right.
A good quote is, "Well, double dumbass on you," which is yeah. So there's a lot of funny stuff in there. Let's see. What was my other? And let's see. And this one, I don't know where it is. I'll just make up one more question for us. Let's do one more opinion-based question that's related to Star Trek. Who would you argue is the best actor from any of the Star Wars franchise? Including the new movies with Benedict Cumberbatch. We've got Picard. Oh, who?
You said Star Wars.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I wasn't supposed to talk about stuff. Yeah, no, from the Star Trek franchise, from any of the Star Trek movies, who's the best actor, do you think? I think a lot of people would say Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say, Patrick Stewart, but people also might say like he might be a little too over the top with his Shakespearean style. So who do you think? Who's the best actor in any of the Star Trek franchises?
I like Data. It feels like Data really carries at least these first 3 seasons on his back.
Yeah.
It feels like he just like, oh, I'm gonna carry this whole episode now.
Yeah, I think Mackenzie makes a very good point. Like, I think Patrick Stewart has the most like acumen, but I think within Star Trek, the best actor has to be Brent Spiner, because he manifests like.
There's all those different characters he has to do.
Yeah.
Like he's playing off of himself.
And he has to simulate not knowing what human emotion is,
and also kind of knowing.
And also kind of knowing what human emotion is.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's just sometimes he like does little like head movements and just like goes like accessing and just like does this whole like reading the air thing. It's just cool.
He does a very good job with that character. I'm tempted to say Patrick Stewart, because I do like all of his theatrical work, and I really liked his work in Logan.
Yeah,
he did a great job on that. But I also really like, and I can't remember the actor's name, the guy who plays Q.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously not in it nearly as much, but every once in a while.
Quincy?
I don't know.
I know he plays Discord in My Little Pony.
Yeah, exactly.
He plays Alarak in StarCraft: Legacy of the Void.
Wow.
There's a deep Got for the
Yeah.
real-time
StarCraft and My Little Pony references. All right. Well, let's look and see if anybody else has said things that they want to share. Let's see. Barry says the Doctor in Voyager.
Oh yes, yeah.
Debbie Badger says that she likes my grunge look.
I like it.
Yeah, I do get it. Now that I'm in Washington, I'm not shaving anymore.
I like that you have like a little. It's like I'm a 12-year-old boy from the future, and also. I'm also.
Are you referencing Meet the Robinsons?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I wake up, I take a shower, I can't find a comb, so then I just like,
Yeah, no, I need a haircut. I've got a Karen haircut.
Yeah, I wake up in the morning, I comb my head, then I wake up again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. Everybody out there in Facebook land, thanks so much for watching. I hope that you are well and safe and binge watching a lot of Star Trek episodes or movies. Star Wars movies would be fine too, but let's show some love to the non-Star Wars star-titled movies. And go watch Starman and the Last Starfighter. Anybody out there, if you haven't seen those 80s movies. It's good 80s culture.
Sounds good.
All right, I'm going to end the broadcast. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, Lucy. Gracie. Good night, Gracie.